This is the 5th episode of the Explorer Note readings. Today we'll be going over the first half of the notes for Mei Yin that can be found on the island. As I've said, I intended for these notes to be read by matching voices, but unfortunately this hasn't worked out thus far. I won't remove this as a possibility in the future, but for now, enjoy Survivor. Where am I? How did I arrive? I've asked these questions many times since I awoke on this foreign shore, but I must stop. They do not matter. Their answers will not save me. So I will focus on a different question. How can I survive? This question always has an answer, though it is ever-changing, and it has helped me find resolve in moments of uncertainty or fear. Just days ago, I never thought I'd fear again. I thought my fear died with the yellow turbans, yet when I see a great lizard turn its eyes on me, I know fear is exactly what I feel. I am armed and clothed now, though crudely. My stone spearhead makes me long for my village's weaponsmith, but it serves. I use it to hunt the slow, fat birds that wander the coast. I do not know how such creatures survive here at all, but I am grateful for the meat they provide. I save my arrows for the more dangerous creatures, like the lizards with ears like fans whose spit burns the things it touches. No, not just the creatures. They are not the only danger. Yesterday I found footprints in the sand that were not my own. I am not alone. Defending my hometown during the uprising taught me more in months than I learned in all the years before it. Among those lessons, men will always underestimate women in battle, and humans can be crueler than any animal. Both applied today. The footprints I found were not from one man, but 3. Their eyes changed when they saw me, like wolves discovering a lamb. They were wrong. They were merely mutts. I was the wolf. 2 died to arrows after ignoring my warnings, the last to my spear. I left their bodies out in the wild. I cannot stay here. The beaches are too open. To survive, I must brave the jungle. Today I scored a great victory. As the sun set, I happened upon a small village on a bluff. Unfortunately, it was besieged by a man who rode a lizard like a horse and wielded a stick that spat fire. It would have been safer to retreat, but I could not ignore the bodies. This was a slaughter. Surprise can be a warrior's most powerful weapon, and I wielded it effectively. My first arrow found the lizard's throat, and many more pierced the man's back once he tumbled from the saddle. He never saw his vanquisher. In hindsight, I should have spared the beast. A mount would be welcome. The surviving villagers let me claim the lizard rider's armor and weapons, and gave me shelter for the night. To my surprise, I understood them. Their mouths moved strangely, but in my ears I heard the language of my home. They say it is the work of the metal object in my wrist. I do not understand, but they had no reason to lie. That night, I dreamt of the uprising, but this time, I was Lieutenant Guan, lifting the siege on my village in a single gallant charge. Yet, when I woke, I was just Mei Yin, and the villagers were gone. I am a stranger to them, but my heart feels heavier for their loss. I must carry on alone. The villagers had made taming beasts sound simple, but my first attempt was nearly my last. My prey was the same kind of 2-legged lizard as the raider's steed, what the villagers called a raptor, but this one was strong. Even as my toxin-laced arrows knocked him out, he was able to make one final lunge for my arm. He nearly took it. Carefully, I fed him scraps of meat as he rested, and when he finally woke, I kept my weapon trained on him. Only when I was sure that he was docile did I notice his appearance, all black, save his white shins and feet. Right then, I named him Wu Sui, and while I do not believe in fate, I felt that this beast would carry me home. The Raptors are improving. They know to follow Wu Sui, and Wu Sui knows to listen to me. Beasts without riders cannot maintain a formation, but they at least run close together. In time, they have even learned how to attack and retreat at my signal during our hunts on the plains. Together, Wu Sui and his 5 brothers are like a light cavalry unit, and I am their commander. Unfortunately, they are all I really have. I am not much of a craftsman and have few possessions. Not everyone here is like me, though. There may be some who can craft but cannot fight. Perhaps we could trade. The defense went spectacularly. Like many tribes, the Red Hawks relied entirely on brute force. They thought only of charging in with their beasts and their guns, with no regard for their surroundings. They never expected a sortie, much less one that came from their exposed flank. Our victory was so complete that my benefactors not only rewarded me with the weapons and supplies they promised, but extra pack animals to carry them. With each battle, my skills improve and my ranks swell, if only with beasts. I don't mind that. The people that I care about are back home. Until I return, Wusui is enough company. I was told this escort mission would be dangerous, but I had not expected to fight a legitimate army. Fortunately, I was riding ahead of the main column and spotted them first. After signaling for the convoy to change course, I harassed the enemy from their flanks to draw their attention, then retreated in a different direction. Even that cost me. Many of Wusui's brothers were injured and some were killed. Previously, my enemies here fought wildly or scattered when attacked, but these men had discipline. The leader of the convoy was very grateful. Apparently, few survive an encounter with the new Legion. I should be wary of them in the future. Am I a mercenary now? I had not given it much thought until I was actually called one. I don't like the title. Mercenaries fight for riches, but I'm just fighting for what I need to survive. That's different, isn't it? When I fought back home, I knew who and what I was fighting for. I knew who my enemies were. Here, I cannot tell. I am trying to be honorable by defending people and not attacking them. But how can I be certain? I cannot dwell on it. To survive, I must fight on. To return home, I must fight on. I've started to tame larger creatures. The speed of my light cavalry was beneficial, but I realized that it was not enough. 100 swift strikes means nothing if there is no strength behind them. To survive enemies like the new Legion, I must be able to strike with power. I began with ones that look like larger raptors, but with horns on their foreheads. They balance strength and speed well, and will serve well as the core of my forces. When I have enough horned raptors, I will add some of the giants. Maybe then I will finally have the strength to find a way home. I am living on an island. Worse, a cursed island. When I managed to tame a great spined lizard and a giant raptor, I left the jungle to find a way out of these treacherous lands, but I soon found myself traveling in circles. Worse still, I'm told that a magical barrier prevents ships from sailing too far from the shore and birds from flying too high to leave the island. It was never a matter of strength. There is no path home at all. Wusui seems to sense my unease. These days, I often wake to find him nestled beside me. At least I am not trapped here alone. I laughed for the first time in weeks today. A man from a small tribe of fishermen sought to hire me, but he didn't call me by my name. He called me the Beast Queen of the Jungle. I couldn't keep a straight face. I suppose I understand the title. Since my failed expedition, I have staked out a small swath of land to live on more permanently, and the locals know it as my pack's hunting ground. Still, I'm hardly a queen. My castle is little more than a shack. I'd rather be called a queen than a mercenary, though, so I may as well embrace it. I wonder what father would think of me now. Would he be proud of me when I march off to battle? I know he wanted a son. That's why he trained me in secret. Would he accept a beast queen instead? Mother wouldn't approve. The other villagers were too desperate to care about my gender when I joined the fight against the turbans, but my mother never forgave me. She wouldn't even look at me now. Should I mind? Those were Mei Yin's parents, from Mei Yin's life, and sometimes I wonder if that life was even real. Maybe I was always a beast, never a woman. I have finally found a beast that I cannot command. No, to call him a beast is not enough. He is a demon. I was stalking a pair of giant raptors, waiting for an opportunity to bring them into my pack, when he tore through the tree line to steal their kill. He dwarfed even the giant raptors in size, and in fury he surely has no equal in this world. When his foes bit at him, his eyes glowed with hatred, and he struck with renewed vigor. I have never seen such terror. Even I dare not to challenge this creature. If I am the Beast Queen, then he is the Demon King.